YouTube, look what I've got. It is a atlas of the world. Here you can see the world. We've got North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia and Australia and New Zealand. It's kind of strange because they were all the continents and then I'm saying Australia and New Zealand, but it felt wrong not to say, well, I'm sorry, I'm already rambling. I thought it would be nice to show you this atlas and to show you a bit about the Netherlands. Now, I don't have time to go through this whole thing. If you would like me to leave me a comment, I might do so another time. But I'm going to the Meg, you know, that probably horrible shark movie. But like I mentioned in an earlier video, or just recently I mentioned it, a friend of mine and I go to all the really bad shark movies. So of course we have to go to this one as well. Hey Mikey. So alright, let's dive in. First of all, this is a world map. So the whole world is in here. But it is a Dutch one, so it focuses on the Netherlands first and then it zooms out. And in the end, you know, the whole world is in here. This is actually interesting, the different ways to show the world, because of course the world is round, but most maps are flat, so it is hard to show it, to show the right dimensions of stuff. And you could show it like this, then it would make sense, but that's kind of a strange map. So there are all these different projections to show the world, and actually the flat one, like the 2D one, that is sort of, well, no, this one is 2D as well. This is complicated, guys. What is interesting is that Google Maps recently changed their website. Before, if you zoomed out and out and out, you would in the end see the world like this. Well, no, not like this, just like a normal flat world, you know, like we're used to. But now if you zoom all the way out, you actually see a round. You see that the world is round, you see a circle. So I thought that was so clever. Or so clever, no, that's just, bloody hell, I'm rambling. I'm just home from work and I have to make this video a bit quickly because otherwise I don't have time anymore and I'm rambling all the way. Hopefully you fall asleep soon and you won't have to listen to me anymore. So these are all kinds of strange maps of the Netherlands, and I'm sort of looking for a regular map where you can see the whole country at a glance, and I think this will do. So here we go. This is the Netherlands, and as you can see, there's Belgium below, and then there's Germany on the eastern side. And maybe I should show you guys where the Netherlands is located in Europe, because maybe not everybody knows that exactly. So this basically is Europe, and this light purple color is Russia, which is really big, and it goes on, you know, it doesn't even fit on here. Here is Turkey, and those two are like the borders of Europe. And then here beneath the sea is Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, all the countries. And then this is Europe. So this island over here is Iceland. Then here we've got the UK, and we've got Ireland. Mikey, what are you doing? I'm trying to record a video. Then here is Norway and Sweden and Finland. And we've got Eastern Europe is Western Europe, or well, also Southern Europe. It kind of depends on how you want to look at it. This here is Portugal, the green part. This is Spain, France, Italy, Slovenia, where I've been a couple of times lately, Austria, Germany, Belgium, and then here is the Netherlands. So the Netherlands is sort of in the middle of Western Europe, because also Scandinavia is these countries: Norway, Sweden, and Finland, and also Iceland, I think. Yeah, Iceland as well. I don't know actually. Yeah, Iceland as well. I don't know. If it's up to me, Iceland as well. And then the Netherlands is sort of in the middle here. And it's tiny. It's a bit bigger than Belgium, but it is smaller than, well, many other countries. But there do live relatively a lot of people. We are about 17 million inhabitants, I think, which is pretty much for such a tiny country. So yeah, now we're going to zoom in on the Netherlands and a bit of Belgium and a bit of Germany. So you know a little bit where we are. So let me see if I can find that map again that I was just looking at. It must be in here somewhere. By the way, Harvey is sitting here as well. This time both my cats came to take a look. Well, I've seemed to lost the map, but I'm sure we're going to find it again somewhere. But not yet here. Was it the one that I was using? I think so, right? Yeah, probably. Or wasn't it? Okay, so this is the Netherlands, this is Belgium, and this is Germany. And well, let me first say, green is places where not a lot of people live, where there are like farms and small villages. And then the darker it gets, there are more cities. So you can see that most of the population of the country is in this middle part. That is called the Randstad. And a lot of people live there. And then there are also some cities here and a couple of them here. And then here in the north, there is this very red, but there's like not a lot of red, but there's one red city. It's called Groningen. That's where I live. And it's a really nice city. And people who live here always complain about how far away this is. Even though people who live here usually have to come here for all kinds of meetings and conferences, because many people live here and we never complain. But if there is something being held here and people from here have to travel there, they always complain. Even though it's like by train it's 2 hours, by car, yeah, also 2 hours, unless it's really busy, and then maybe a bit longer because of traffic. But it is just crazy. I don't know why that happens. So the whole country is very tiny. You can drive through, well, easily. I think this is about 300 kilometers and this about 500. So that is not a lot. And then let's see, what can I tell you? There are these islands. And I recently visited this one, Vlieland. I made videos about that one. That's a really, really nice one. But yeah, I've been on this one, and on this one, so never on these two. But as far as I know, they're all beautiful. And then this Flevoland, that's actually interesting because this used to be sea. So first of all of this used to be sea. So the first thing that Dutch people in the past did was building this dam, or yeah, what's it called? Like a dam, I think. And they changed the salt water for not salt water. How do you call that in English? Well, anyway, so this was sea. So now people live here, and it's just a place where you can be, while it used to be sea. So that is actually, interesting, I think. So let me see. I grew up in a small town here. It's called Hardenberg. It's very tiny. It's close to the German border. And afterwards, I moved to Utrecht. That's where I went to university, and I lived here for a bit. And I also shortly lived in Amsterdam for a bit over a year. And then I worked here at a newspaper. And afterwards I moved to Groningen. And I've been living here for about 10 years. And I still really like it, so I don't know, I don't have to live, I don't want to live here forever per se, but I also don't have plans to move, so we'll see what happens. And then the newspaper that I work for appears in Groningen. It's this province. The name of the city and the name of the province are the same. And in this province, which is Drenthe, so it's this part of the Netherlands where the newspaper appears. So it is a regional newspaper. And then there's also a newspaper in this part, Friesland, Frisia, and that belongs to the same company as that our newspaper belongs to. And let me see, I've got a friend who lives in Zwolle, which is a rather big city over here. Some friends of mine still live in Hardenberg. One of my best friends lives in Utrecht. I've created videos about that a while ago too, just before I went to Vlieland, the island. And this part, not many people live here. These islands are almost islands. There's a lot of water here. And then we've got this part. There are lots of farmers, but there are also some really big cities. And this part of the Netherlands is actually a little bit hilly. And that is special for us because we don't have mountains and we hardly have any hills. So this part always feels a bit foreign to me. But that might be because I grew up here and then I lived there and there and there. So this is like a place that I would only visit, for like on a trip. And then it looked so different from the Netherlands that I was used to. And especially this most southern part, I really like that, although I don't visit it often because it is, a bit far away. You can't go there for a day. You could maybe, basically, but it is, too much in a car. But this part, as you can see, it is in between Belgium and Germany. So there are a lot of influences from those countries. People who work here might live here, or live here and work here. And, people just, of course, because there's just borders everywhere, people connect a lot. And that is actually, interesting. What I also like, here in Hardenberg, where I grew up, that's very close to the German border. And in Germany, people speak German and not Dutch, and the languages are a bit alike, probably like Spanish and Portuguese or something, but they're not the same, and you can't automatically speak one if the other if you know one, but there's this accent that people speak with the farmers over here, or just everybody basically, and that actually looks a lot like the accent people have over here. So those people are able to understand each other, even though they speak different languages and then they sort of don't. So I think that's very interesting too. And then what always is causing a lot of confusion is the name of the Netherlands, because it is called the Netherlands, that's the official title, the official name of the country, but often it's called Holland. And I feel like many people even get confused, like they think that Holland and the Netherlands might be two different countries, which is not that strange because they're two different names, so why wouldn't there be two different countries? And actually, like I said, these are provinces. There are 12 provinces in the Netherlands, and 2 of them are called Holland. This is North Holland, and this is South Holland. And way back this part was Holland, and this part, it's where most people live. This is the richest part of the country. And a long time ago, when the Dutch would go out and conquer all kinds of places and trade and slave trading, we did a lot of bad things as the Dutch, unfortunately, as many countries, of course. But yeah, there's coming a bit more attention for that lately. Just small, but I think that's very good. We should own up what happened. Anyway, Mike, what are you doing? This part, that's where the rich people lived, and this is where the boats left, from Rotterdam, which is over here, big harbor, and Amsterdam. So when people, I think it is because people came from here, and they would travel the world, and they would tell everybody they're from Holland. So it's sort of, Holland became synonymous for this whole country, even though it's the Netherlands. But actually Holland is just these two provinces, North and South Holland. So that's actually a lot confusing. And what's also confusing is that the language you speak is called Dutch. But Dutch, really, if you write it down, it really looks like the German word for Germany, which is Deutschland. And Dutch and Deutschland, they look like it's the same. And I think, I've met people who are confused about that as well. So it is all kind of a strange mix up. So yeah. So let me see, what else can I tell you? This is the Rhine. It's one of the big rivers that comes from Germany and enters the Netherlands, and then goes on into several different rivers. And yeah, that's about it, I think. And then here, this is the Waddenzee. That's a special sea where the water will sometimes go away completely, and you can walk from one island to the next. Or from here, you can sometimes walk from here to this island, and you have to know your way, and it can be dangerous because the water will return, or there will be parts that still have a lot of water, but it's really neat. So this is a quick overview of the Netherlands. I'm gonna go get myself a quick bite, and I'm going to see the Mac. Wish me luck, guys.